Why? Because it is freaking cold. Couldn't you be? Wouldn't you be? Won't you be my neighbor? Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Weekly. As always, I am Robo, and it's Friday. There's toys to talk about. I've got my bedroom set up with studio equipment. How about you and me do this thing? Let's talk a little bit more about Tokyo Comic Con because I did not get my fill of that last week. We have some Bandai Spirits model kit action going on, Dragon Ball Z, Star Wars. We have some SH Figuarts, Dragon Ball Z Super, some Mattel DC Multiverse, some Mezco, actually quite a bit of Mezco. NECA, Amazing Yamaguchi, Hasbro, Marvel Legends, blah. Now I said that Metacom did not have a lot of MAFEX action going on at Tokyo Comic Con. I'm a liar. They had most of the stuff that they've released over the past few years in the display, along with some little hidden gems, and I don't know, I hate to say anything bad about their comic line because I'm so excited about it, but does Spider-Man look a little bit big in this picture? We've had scale problems in the past, some of their figures get a little bit large, and then their MAFEX Suicide Squad line is blatantly larger than the MAFEX Dark Knight Trilogy figures. I don't know what's going on, but that looks to be the case with the comic line. You can see the comic Spider-Man kind of off to the side of the MCU Spider-Man, and I don't know. It just looks like a slightly larger scale, which, being comic-based, it's not supposed to mix together. But a lot of people were hoping this would fit into their Marvel Legends or their other Marvel displays. You can see it a little bit better with the MAFEX comic Venom next to the MAFEX MCU Black Panther. This kind of works because it's Venom. He's changes in size, and also I'm good with him being a little bit large. But when it comes down to it, here is Deadpool next to Gwenpool. Gwenpool's the only MAFEX figure in the comic line that we have released so far, so we have her in hand. We have a good idea of how big she is. The top of her head comes up to the Marvel Legends Deadpool's mouth. Here, it looks like Deadpool's a bit larger. But the sculpt's still there, the articulation seems to still be there, hopefully the QC is there, and if nothing else, I'll have a MAFEX comic display. Whatever. But this picture also gives us a little hint at what appears to be a very large, steampunkish Iron Giant looking Iron Man of some kind. I haven't kept up with all the comic armors or even the movie armors really at this point, but does anybody do 2-ups anymore? I know the Four Horsemen still did a little bit, but I think they've transitioned into digital and don't need the 2-up and such. So is there an Iron Man figure coming this large? I don't know. It looks cool, so I don't know. But even further beside that, you can see Newt Scamander from Fantastic Beasts. SH Figuarts has the Harry Potter line, and they've never had any qualms about, oh, Bandai has that line, we better not touch that. But Figuarts is starting very early with the Sorcerer's Stone or the Philosopher's Stone. Whatever your pleasure is. It's good to see MAFEX kind of varying. Here's our own thing, they do their thing, hopefully they fit together. But to keep with Tokyo Comic Con for just one more minute, and then I swear this is the last I talk about it until this time next year. Last week I also missed the SH Figuarts Teen Groot. We've seen a larger Groot, we've seen a baby Groot, Teen Groot looking pretty cool. I don't know if I'd pass that. I've been passing on a lot of the SH Figuarts MCU figures, but this one's tempting. And then the Star Wars Last Jedi crate Luke was also on display again. We've seen it before, but damn, I want this figure. It just looks fantastic. As does the Emperor, which, again, no release date, no nothing. It's just like, here's some plastic to fill up the case. We may get to it at some point. But that transitions into more Star Wars stuff. The Bandai Spirits model kit Return of the Jedi Darth Vader. This is releasing this month, so right before that we usually see new promotional shots of model kits, and this is looking a lot like the first Darth Vader model kit. But there are some changes. First off, he can do this. Let's think about this for a minute. Let that settle in. Just Darth Vader throwing a fit. I don't know, but we'll talk about the other stuff, come back around to this. He's got an extra part where it looks like the hand's been cut off, the wires, the cables, the stuff hanging out. Got an unmasked photo printed head or triaxial finish or whatever they call it over there. Every company has their own. Oh, we call it this. It's not quite like that. They have the golden arches, we have the golden arcs. But it's essentially photoreal or photo print, or the face is printed on, and it works really well here because Anakin didn't really have a normal skin tone once his helmet came off. So I don't really have a complaint of, it looks a little bit off, it looks a little bit weird because it's supposed to look a little bit off and look a little bit weird. He still comes with the candy-coated hard shell cape that it flies out, has some articulation to it, but besides that, he also has a new rubber cape piece and rubber lower tunic, or the skirt piece. Which brings me back around to this picture. You can now sit him down without actually going full-on cloth. I don't like the cloth they've used in the model kits before. I think it was Captain Phasma, and I think it was General Grievous. It's kind of terrible, kind of flat, they don't look good. Standing in a neutral position, it still looks a little bit flat, just hanging there, but you can get more action poses out of it now. Also, there seems to be an alternate chest box piece. We have the original, you plug it in, it's sculpted detail, you can either paint that, but if you try to put a decal over it, it kind of stands up. So this time around, they've included a flatter part without the sticky uppies. It still has some indents in it to kind of simulate the switches and knobs and light. It's flatter, so you can just pop a decal on it. $25 ships at the end of this month. Former Mattel employee Jason Langston has shown us more promotional shots of upcoming DC Multiverse figures. I swear he doesn't even work for the company anymore. He does a better PR job than Mattel does. First up, Demon King Joker. I have no frame of reference for this. I haven't watched the cartoon, but it looks cool, and for a $20 figure, it's cheap and interesting looking. I may have to give this one a shot. He comments that the knees are double knees, but they're all hidden under the wraps, and then the elbows. A lot of the articulation is hidden here. What's the range of motion, though? And then there's Rebirth Nightwing. I do have a frame of reference for Nightwing. I know who he is. He's had some good costumes in the past. Well, good is very subjective. Some costumes that I liked more than this in the past. Don't get me wrong, all the beats are there. He's got the blue, he's got the mask, he's got the black, but the body proportions seem a little bit off, almost like the torso is a little bit squat. That makes the arms look long, makes the legs look long, makes the head seem low. Plus, I'm not a huge fan of this mask. It kind of disappears into the skin tone. It's too light. It needs to be a darker blue or a black, something like that. But that's nothing against Mattel right there. They're just going by the design itself. That's on DC. And again, that's subjective. That's my own personal taste there. Okay, I haven't kept up with the Dragon Ball Super stuff. I know there's a movie coming, but I haven't gotten that far in the series. It seems Gogeta is in the movie, and Bandai Spirits has solicited a Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Blue, whichever you want to go, Gogeta for their model kit line. Now, it seems like they mentioned this a while back, or maybe I missed it, or not, because I feel like I'm just seeing pictures of this, but his entry on the Bandai Figurize page is on down, like this was shown months ago. Plus, according to the text, it's set to release this month, so I don't know if I missed something. Maybe this was, and I'm just now coming around to it. But going over the contents, it almost feels like a deluxe model kit, because usually they don't go for two versions of the same character in the model kit. Usually. I said usually. This time around, we get two heads, one with the blue hair, one with the black hair. Each head has two faces, screaming normal. Comes with 4 effects. You have the Kamehameha build, you have the blast, you have Big Bang Attack, and you have Final Flash. Now, again, the model kits don't usually come with this number of effects, so it feels like they're just, oh, Gogeta? We won't be releasing him again, let's pack it all into one box. But you're also going to pay a little bit higher price for all that stuff in the same box. It's going to run $30, whereas the other ones, $20, it's not a terrible just price hike. You get extra stuff, you get more model kit. And like I said, well, hell, it releases, what is today? The 7th? It releases tomorrow. But speaking of Dragon Ball Super, last weekend Bandai also solicited their SH Figuarts, Super Saiyan Broly and Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Vegito. These are both from the Dragon Ball Super movie starring Broly, or well, about Broly. Both are based on their appearance in that movie with the brighter colors, some changes to the clothing and such. With Vegito, he has 2 heads, one with the blue hair, one with the black hair. Again, just packing that into that figure itself. The black hair has 1 face, I think, and then the blue hair has 2 faces. But I was about to say, here's what I was about to say. But surely you can interchange them between the 2 heads, but the eyebrows have to match the hair color. Broly has extra hands and 2 faces, no effects between the 2. Vegito is $48, Broly is $67, and they both release in, I just looked at this, April. A while back, either Tamashii Nations or Bluefin packed in a brick wall accessory with the, was it Homecoming Spider-Man? It's one of the Spider-Mans. They are now offering those brick walls by themselves. You have color options. There's one in brown, there's one in gray. They come in little sections. You can mix and match between the 2 sets even. Mix some gray in with your brown, or different configurations for the wall itself. And this is cool. I'm always down for some diorama stuff. I wish I had more that I could just throw into the photo booth, take some quick pictures. I don't know why I don't, actually, especially with stuff like this coming out. But the pictures they included with both sets, they're kind of odd. You start staring at them and it tells a weird story of some kind. Man hangs in alley, woman hangs in alley, woman stalks man, man hits on woman, man and woman pine for each other, Romeo and Juliet, Juliet and Romeo, man and woman fight together, man and woman fight each other, woman... Actually, I don't know what the hell's going on with this picture. I feel like I know what Bandai was thinking with this picture, but with my gutter brain, it looks like something totally different. It's so angry! These are $20 a piece. They release in April also. Here's the Mezco 1/12 Collective Diabolic. If I'm not mistaken, this is one of the first figures they showed in the line when it was first taking off. Then it's been a couple years later, they finally get around to releasing Diabolic. I have no clue who Diabolic is, but he's got a cool kind of ninja, snake eyes, Sam Fisher vibe to it. Also, apparently he comes with a young Bruce Wayne head. This is also one of those instances where the cloth on the body, I like it with the plastic of the head. It matches between the two. All that wasn't enough to get me to pre-order though. Nothing against people who like Diabolic or this figure in general. It's just, ooh, Mezco, $80 a pop, if not more. I gotta be a little bit more selective when it comes to this line. Loaded with accessories that help further that Sam Fisher feel for me, or even Snake Eyes. I'm sitting here trying not to talk myself into it, but I'm looking at the accessories going, oh, those are kind of cool, I may need that. Night vision goggles, wristwatch, backpack with hinge, suction cup climbers, 2 throwing daggers, combat knife, diamond, imperial egg, and then the usual set of hands that come with these figures. $80 comes out next year. When it comes to Mezco, I'm just gonna start saying that. Will come out in the future. Because also up for pre-order right now from all the online retail shops, because this is a previews exclusive, is the 1/12 Collective X-Men edition of Cable. I didn't play a lot of Marvel vs. Capcom, but I hear a lot of people going, oh, I love that game. I need this Cable. To me, it looks a little bit plain. And I'm not complaining. I'm not griping about it because I'm going to end up pre-ordering it and I'm going to end up liking it. It just, the blue and the yellow, it's very Cyclops to me. I like more variation. I like the first Cable more with his bulky shoulder pads, the lights down here, the extra stuff. That's my Cable. The accessories we see here, we saw with the first Cable, the big plasma cannon with the simulated lights on it, grenade launcher with the carousel and the grenades, several sets of hands. What differs here from the standard release is the spear. Handgun, alternate head, $100. And they're charging $100 because of the light up feature, I guess. But it seems like less lights than the first version. The first version has chest lights. Are those two X symbols? Surely not. Those aren't going to light up. They're about in the same place as the other Cable, who does light up right there. But the eye does light up, and maybe it's just harder to stuff that much stuff into the head. And then, like I said, it's a Mezco. It's going to release sometime next year. Because some of the stuff, I don't even remember when I pre-ordered Iron Man, Kong of Skull Island, and then the Ragnarok Hulk, but within the past 2 days, I've gotten the charging soon email for all 3 of those. It's looking a lot like a Mezco Christmas. Also, my Popeye shipped out yesterday. I'm super excited about that. I can't wait to get that in hand, see how that is. And oddly enough, just to throw out a little tidbit trivia out there, yesterday, December 6th, was the anniversary of the original Popeye movie getting released in theaters, December 6th, 1980. Did they do this on purpose? Surely not. Surely not. But it works for me. Cool. NECA announced a GameStop exclusive Ultimate Gamer Gremlin. I haven't been keeping up with the Gremlins line. I don't know if this is the same figure just released with new accessories, a different look for GameStop, but for me, I may have to get this one because, hell, where else are you going to find a scale Atari controller? Also comes with other accessories, the beanie, the sunglasses, a pop or a cola, depending on where you're from, a little handheld game, a game cartridge for Gremlins, and then the popcorn. The popcorn in the top of the bucket comes out to reveal holes in the bucket, and I'm not falling for that again. Nope, not happening. Oh, it goes over his head? Oh. There's 2 eye holes cut. You can turn that around, put it on the Gremlin's head. Looks pretty cool. $30, releases in May. Here's a factory sample of the Kyoto Amazing Yamaguchi DC Deathstroke. Looking awesome. I can't wait to have a companion piece for the Batman. Batman's being all lonely up on the shelf. I am the knight, but I am so lonely. Looks to be a good size. He's a little bit bigger than Batman. In fact, proportionally and aesthetically, he looks very close to the Amazing Yamaguchi Deadpool, oddly enough. There's no similarities between these characters at all, is there? I looked it up, forgot to write it down. I think Deathstroke comes out in January, so he's right around the corner. He's next. The McFarlane Toys Fortnite figures have hit Walmart. Cuddle Team Leader and Skull Trooper trickled out at GameStop. Has it been a couple weeks now? Then it hit their online site, so a lot of people were able to order from there. Those are the two now showing up in a dedicated display at Walmart in front of the electronics section. And that's along with a lot of other Fortnite stuff from other companies, including Jazzwares, who has a 18th scale line that looks very, very... Oh man, it's tempting. It's tempting. You guys know I'm a 6-inch man for life. Well, I can't say for life. It may change in a couple years, but right now, there's so much 6-inch stuff that I can't just go grabbing, but it looks great. The sculpting's good, the articulation looks good. And that just cements the thought in my head that Epic Games went to these toy companies and said, hey, here's the license, but you better make some kick-ass articulated action figures. It also looks like the McFarlane 7-inch line, the other two from the first wave, Black Knight and Raptor, are trickling out at GameStops too. It's not up on their website yet, but I figure it's gonna pop up any moment now. No GameStops in my area had it. I had to drive an hour. I didn't have to, but I drove an hour to see if I could pick one up yesterday because the site said available in store. I got there, they said all of them were held for pre-orders. So I'm hoping to have it next week because, I don't even know Fortnite, but I'm kind of addicted to these figures. Not officially from Hasbro, but somehow these promotional shots of the Walgreens exclusive Marvel Legends Mystique has popped up this week. Now she's looking great, finally a Mystique I can put on the shelf that matches all the rest of them, that's not kind of gangly or falling apart. Yes, I'm super excited for Mystique herself, but this is the first time we see the accessories she comes with. First there's the Rogue head, it's half morphing into Mystique. I like this, it's a good way to show her power in action figure form. And while I think this works on the Mystique figure, she's slowly morphing into Rogue and not the rest of her body. I feel like I need another Rogue now to put this on that body because her just having a peak of Mystique is much more interesting than having just a peak of Rogue. But it's the other head that is rubbing people the wrong way. She also includes a Lilandra head. Now Lilandra is the on-again, off-again consort of Professor Xavier and also the Majestrix of the Shi'ar Empire. Shi'ar? I don't know how to say it. Namor the Submariner. This is another Madcap situation. They included a Madcap head with a Deadpool. Will we ever see the body? Who knows? Is it such an unknown... Well, I can't say unknown. There's always fans of even the lowest tier characters. Me included. I do the same thing. But is Madcap and Lilandra important enough for I nearly said Hydra. That was weird. Hasbro to make full-on figures of each character. People are already making plans, taking their Silver Sable from the Kingpin wave, gonna customize that into a body for Lilandra, looking for a cape, looking for a trident. It's a cool little ad, but I feel like I would have liked to have seen another head like the Rogue head. And then the Hasbro Marvel Legends Series 4 Captain Marvel was officially announced this week. Unfortunately, we had already seen most of this wave from an Amazon leak a couple of months ago. We knew about Star Force Commander looking great, green, metal, armored. We'll probably get his real name in the movie. It's probably a spoiler that they're not revealing yet. Talos the Skrull, I'll go for aliens anytime. Some people have commented that this may be reused from Loki, but I trust them, especially after the T'Chaka Black Panther screw up I did. It's an all new sculpt. No, it's not. Captain Marvel, we saw in those original leaks, but there was text saying there was a head that couldn't be revealed at that time. We now know that it is the armored head with the mohawk. Revealed in the trailer, revealed in action figure form directly afterward. Well, okay, no. SH Figuarts kind of blew that look, didn't they, last weekend? I was like, here it is. Oh, look, the helmet and mohawk look great. And then we see the trailer, and then Hasbro gets to reveal their stuff. And then young Nick Fury looking pretty cool. The newly revealed MCU figure for this wave is Captain Marvel in bomber jacket. I've seen a lot of Leslie Knope comparisons to the face, so much that I'm looking at it going, nope. No, don't do this to me. But between her and the Ronda Rousey figure, we get a lot of jacket fodder. I would have liked to seen the green Star Force armor, but this works too. We'll probably see that in a 2-pack or another wave or something. From the trailer, you see the cat. I'm not gonna get into the whole name thing. Apparently the comic book has a different name for the cat than the movie does. I don't know. Not only that, spoilers, and spoilers are coming. I'm gonna talk about some spoilers. Not really spoilers, the other accessory that comes with Nick Fury. In the trailer we see Nick Fury, oh, kitty cat, 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 but with the Nick Fury figure, the cat comes in shackles and a muzzle. Now, again, this goes back around to the comic books where the cat is actually something else, and I feel like they were trying to hide this and it kind of slipped up, and this kind of blows, not a plot point, I'm sure, but kind of one of those things in the movie that some people go, oh, I wish I didn't know that. I'm avoiding the exact specifics of the comic cat character. To me, I'm just looking at it going, ah, dang, that's hilarious, and I want a cat in shackles and a muzzle. That looks awesome. For some reason, they've omitted the Build-A-Figure pieces out of these shots, even though they've already revealed it to be the Kree Sentry. Comic style, maybe that's why they didn't do it here, so they can separate for the media who doesn't know any better that these are comic figures, this is a comic Build-A-Figure, these are MCU action figures. And then the two comic figures in the line is Genisvel, or Genisvel, however you want to say it. You know, Paladin, and Grey Gargoyle. I don't know why they went Grey Gargoyle here, but I'm not going to complain because I dig on Grey Gargoyle. And that is it for this week. Just this morning, the Avengers 4 trailer hit. It looks cool, it's a little teaser, it's setting things up a little bit, it's most of what we already knew was coming, I guess. Not really any secrets, especially if you're on the internet at any point during any day. So there's not much reason to go, oh, this is gonna suck, oh. But it's the internet, so we're already getting that. Me, I can't wait. I'll probably skip the next trailer. I want to go in very cold. I just don't want to know anything else about this movie. So if you like this Fwoosh Weekly, comment, like, subscribe. I'll catch you on the Fwoosh.